Hey guys, today we're going to talk about turn on the forehand. So you may also hear these referred to as hindquarter yield. But either way, this is just a really awesome exercise that we can do on the ground to help us improve our communication with our horses by being more specific about where exactly we want them to place their feet. So here I'm going to start with Forrest. He's anticipating me a little bit, so this isn't exactly how I would start. I usually start with this cue right there in the crease between their hip and their barrel, the flank area. But I included that little clip and I'll play it again so that you can see what is likely to happen when you're teaching this to a horse for the first time. So Forrest is kind of walking forward and crossing behind. That's really common. When I'm first teaching this to a horse, I worry a lot more about the are they crossing over behind, or and is that inside leg going in front of the outside leg, rather than worrying too much about whether or not they're walking forward. And I'm trying to give you guys these videos in kind of a raw, uncut format so you can see what it really looks like. There, Forrest kind of anticipating me a little bit. He thinks I want him to go sideways. I'm not really asking for anything. So we're just going to go for a little jog, reset, and try again. That's a technique I use a lot. If he starts getting confused or anticipating me too much, we just kind of move our feet, reset, and come back, because these real specific, nitpicky groundwork exercises can be a lot for them mentally, so we need to be aware of that. So here I'll demonstrate again my step one cue, that little touch at his flank. There he did a better job of keeping his feet still, so rewarding that. And then we'll do it again, asking for a few more steps that time. Good job, Forrest. Okay, so the next step after we've gotten that physical touch cue pretty well established is to move on to what's the lightest version of that cue we can possibly get. So for me, that's going to be just a suggestion of touching him. I'm not actually going to make contact, but I am going to give a little bit of pressure just with my body being there, maybe a little wag with my hand. So I'm trying to get him set up in the frame here, the joys of filming by yourself. But then I'm just going to kind of wag my finger at his hips, and he's going to yield on over. So the joy of having this lead rope here is that when I give that pressure, even if he's taking a few steps forward, I can keep him from totally walking off. So I like to use that, kind of bend him just slightly in towards me when I'm first teaching it, because that kind of helps them understand that I want those front legs to stay still. Okay, so over the next couple of minutes, you guys can just watch how I'm going to keep working with Forrest on these cues to get everything good and solid before I take the halter and lead rope away and work on this at liberty. So while we're watching this, I'll talk a little bit about some things that could go wrong while you're trying to teach this. So I mentioned already that they might walk forward. That's probably the most common thing. You're giving some pressure at their hindquarters, and they're going to interpret that as, okay, walk forward. So you can use your lead rope to contain that a little bit and keep them with you. But you also want to just allow a little bit of forward movement to start out with. So watch those hind legs. We want the inside hind to cross in front of the outside hind and step over. So if they're stepping over but also walking forward, I reward that and just kind of shape it, asking for less and less forward as I go. But I definitely don't want to punish them for moving forward, because that's a super normal interpretation of my cue when they don't really know the difference. They may also do kind of a weird thing where they step behind the outside leg with the inside leg, or they just kind of do these sideways steps where they're stepping to their their outside leg instead of crossing. And those are all things I just kind of ignore. I wait, I keep asking until I get a cross under step, and then I will reward that step. And eventually, if you do that enough times, they'll understand that, oh, crossing under is what I'm supposed to do. And you won't have all of that weird little bobbly steps anymore. So here you can see Forrest is doing much better with keeping his front legs mostly planted. So we've worked through some of our desire to walk forwards. We practice this all the time, and we still have to touch it up as we go. We're always learning and improving. So I'll let you guys watch. We'll go around a couple more times before I feel like he's ready to go at liberty. So I'll let you watch without me interrupting too much. Alright, so now we're ready. Take the halter off. Like I mentioned before, a halter is a nice safety net to keep him from walking off when I give a little pressure behind. So I kind of have built a cue in to ask him to turn towards me. If I feel like I'm losing him a little bit, I'll kind of give him a signal with my finger. And you'll see there, I'm kind of asking for him to keep his nose in towards me, which will prevent him from walking off. That's my secondary safety net I've built in for this. So see there, I thought I was kind of losing him. And now I'm asking with a suggestion instead of a touch cue. Trying to bring him there towards me, and then we can ask for the crossover. If I just kept putting pressure at his hindquarters while his head was off to the right there, he would walk off and be gone across the pasture, most likely. So there, I've probably put a little too much pressure on him. He's trying to leave. There we go. Understood. Cookies. Job well done. So there, he's doing a really nice job of keeping those front feet more still. So we'll play a little bit. Sometimes that's as good of a reward for Forrest as cookies, so we go back and forth. All right, we'll go around one more time. And that's it. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. If you liked it, if you want to see more, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.